Well, that sucked. Sorry about that, everyone. I understand it's going to take a minute for everybody to jump back over. So give me a second. And I'm going to let's try this here. Right. Okay. Part 2 of the live stream. Sorry. There we go. Hi, everybody. Thanks for jumping over. No, the notification worked. All right. Well, yeah, I didn't want to just leave it at that. Yeah, we're back up. Thank you guys for being tolerant. And there we go. Part 2 of the live stream. I put that in the Discord chat. Yeah, guys. So I wanted to leave you with some good news and not all bad news. And one thing that I would like to Lynn, PayPal. That's interesting. Normally my PayPal link in my live streaming software, it pops up automatically, and in this, of course, I don't have it. So I need to bring that up. My PayPal email is aberrantred@gmail.com. That is my PayPal email, Lynn. Thank you for asking. You can also, I try to put this on all of my, because my PayPal, for some technical reasons, PayPal doesn't work with my Shopify right now. Still haven't gotten that worked out, but it's going to take some time. In any case, you can scan this code on my site, and it'll take you to my PayPal. And if you just put in like what you're sending the money for, then I just have to add it in separately. It's a slight pain in the butt, but there you are. Reb Tyree, I'm finally back from San Joaquin, USA Oblast. Wow. Yeah, I don't know, Reb. I'm from good old Sacktown. So thank you, Ken. And your order went out today, order number 1162, I'm happy to say. The headline for Tolchi's stream, starting in 83 minutes, has headline U.S. contractors in Ukraine, and they're not clickbait. Yeah, that is something that was being talked about, and I was pretty sure, was going to go through way back over in the summer, and I even did a live stream about it. And I think that is ultimately going to be a good thing in a way, because it's like, it's a little bit of a slippery slope with with bringing in contractors. Let's see, where is my thing about contractors in Ukraine? It was a while back, wasn't it? Oh yeah, here we go. This one. my my title was maybe a little bit clickbait. Who will they kill first? And I understand that when you talk about these contractors, yeah, Tochny is very interesting because they're so dense with information. You know, um, they're even less charismatic than I am. I would, but yeah, definitely underappreciated. I think a lot of other YouTubers and maybe even other media sources use Tochny for to get their information. Um, you know, much more than they are given credit for, basically, I believe. Um, so yeah, what I find pretty interesting is that even in the middle of all of this, and Scruffy, I know you follow this as much or more than I do. I think partly because of just everything that's been going on and getting ready and preparing for my um, my trip. Uh, I have necessarily kind of had to back off on exactly what's going on the front lines. Um, you know, it's a funny thing I find with a lot of with a lot of soldiers, they can't think about the big picture. You know, it's difficult because you you can't be focused on what's going on some some far part of the front line way out of your area of operations. You don't have the mental capacity, I think. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I guess I'll find out and I'll tell you. And Andrew Perpetua, that's another one. I think Andrew Perpetua and Tochny are like the big information sources that anyone who is really serious. But Scruffy, you keep tabs on this more, I would say, than I do, or you are keeping tabs on this, and it's just amazing to me that Kursk is still holding as much as it is. You know, um, and I mean, all porn aside, I really feel like it's just amazing. We had these memes from early on in the war of Ukraine LOTR meme. Yeah, this is the classic meme right here. I feel like, why am I going to X? I hate X so much. Let's try this. Yes, there we go. You have my sword and you have my bow and my axe. And now on top of that, we're not just fighting Russia. We're fighting we're fighting North Korea and Iran and China. It's interesting you say that, Scruffy. Kursk is a modern battlefield, and Ukraine can maneuver freely to counter Russian advances. That's interesting. I mean, I would argue that it is, the first time that we've seen, and a lot of people have said this, the first time that we've seen real maneuver warfare. Yeah, the West gave weapons too slowly and too sparingly, and now, Biden wants to give $6 billion to Ukraine. $6 billion, and they're scrambling, to do this. Pentagon plans $6 billion in Ukraine aid. Like, Why weren't they doing this before? What was stopping them before? You know, I mean, were they so sure that Kamala was going to win? And like, this is why I can almost understand the attitude of many Ukrainians and many Ukrainian soldiers of like, well, my God, at least it's a change, or maybe Trump is just going to rip the Band-Aid off, but at least it's a change from this slow drip of freaking despair. Oh, Scruffy, that's a good point. No minefields or few minefields. That's why we're having this ability to maneuver. Got it. Now it all makes sense. They exist. Or are you soaking, basking in your power? Now that I ended my stream and played to a moderator, I was just like, I clicked on. Now I know when I'm using the YouTube Studio to live stream, I have to be careful what I click on. I need to do some test live streams where I mess around with this. It's all new software to me. Or, I mean, here's the thing. YouTube, I was doing YouTube live streams like last year, but the software is completely different now. There's a whole bunch of new stuff. So, I mean, I hear a lot of doubt that why does it only have to be 6 billion? Here's the other thing, right? I watched Lucy last night, and you watched Lucy? That's quite a show. Speaking of someone with unlimited power, okay, according to the Supreme Court, the law of the land, Biden has unlimited power. He's immune. He cannot be prosecuted. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. If he wanted to, he could completely clear out, for example, the Sierra Army Depot. He could be sending all of this to Ukraine right now, and nobody could say boo to him. He's in no way anymore is he limited to this $6 billion. He's a lame duck president. Now, what's going to happen? Our democracy is don't worry about hurting our democracy at this point. That's like spitting on a fish. Okay? Yeah, thank you, KKCG. He needs to start issuing a slew of executive orders. And I mean, I hate to say it, because every executive order, and those of you who are not Americans, every executive order issued by a United States president is one step further towards fascism. It doesn't matter who's doing it. Biden, Bush. Who was the first guy to issue an executive order? The first president, like Eisenhower or something? And basically, it's like a royal decree is basically the effect that it has. It can still be overturned by one of the branches of government, Congress or the courts, but if it's not successfully overturned, or at least stayed by the courts, for example, then it happens. And there's very little chance that if Biden just said, unleash the freaking MRAPs and freaking Abrams and all of this shit that we have, just rotting in these boneyards and M113s and 50,000 freaking Humvees. Shere Khan? Yeah, I think Biden just doesn't give a shit either. I mean, so maybe, kind of like out of the frying pan into the fire, maybe instead of just benign neglect, maybe the Ukrainian idea is that, well, we're better off with active malice. Maybe that's better. ripping the Band-Aid off, like I said. Now, this point here, Biden administration to allow military contractors to deploy in Ukraine for the first time. Okay, now I know that all they're going to be doing is fixing stuff, but that is a slippery slope. And once we're in there, it's much more difficult to bring them out. And maybe, just maybe, that will be the attachment for Trump's ego. In other words, Trump doesn't want to have Biden's Afghanistan. Trump doesn't want Ukraine to be his Afghanistan. You know? Yes, KK's GG. The Democratic Party is still too concerned with going down in history as taking the higher ground instead of recognizing that the gloves have been off for some time and acting accordingly. Yeah, that's right. Shere Khan, let us hope that Trump surrounds himself with good military leaders who will see the benefit in arming Ukraine. I'm sorry, Shere Khan, I love you, man, but that is straight up hopium. Straight up hopium. In fact, Trump Pentagon General, let's see. Pentagon officials anxious Trump may fire the military's top general. Pentagon officials discussing how to respond Pentagon officials fear major upheaval. Okay. The Pentagon is not sucking the hopium. Absolutely. There's going to be, Trump's going to throw things into chaos in the Pentagon. Hope is what I have, Shere Khan. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. Like I said at the beginning, I know too much to hope. All I have left is grim, gritted determination. That's what I've got. Yeah. I'm Max. Trump's got to surround myself with traitors, loyalists, basically the most horrible people you can imagine. Western armies see Russia as the enemy. Trump doesn't. Scruffy, yeah. Lynn, yeah, Mike Flynn, yeah. So here's what I would just say, all right? Here's what I would say about it is that the best thing that you can do, each of us, especially in the United States, is to start meeting in person, organizing communities of support. My personal feeling is that America is no longer the leader of the free world. Ukraine is. And anything that you do to support Ukraine is actually supporting democracy in your own country. Because the battle for democracy for the world is happening in Ukraine. And if we want democracy to win, because remember, Ukraine is fighting who? Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. Am I missing one? I feel like there's someone else mixed up in there. Freedom has a name, and its name is Ukraine. That's right. So the big four autocracies in the world. There goes my mic. The big four autocracies in the world. Okay, there's Syria. Sure, Syria. We can add Syria in there. The big four autocracies in the world are all fighting against Ukraine. Why are they doing that? Because they know that a free Ukraine is a threat to each and every one of them. They know that they can manipulate. They know how now to manipulate the oligarchies of Western countries. of America, Elon Musk, and because of that consolidation of wealth and the consolidation of power that has taken place, especially in the United States, when you have all that power concentrated in a smaller group of people, it becomes easier to control those people. And maybe, like some of you, I can't remember who was saying, well, there's a shadow behind Musk, and someone's controlling him. And yeah, okay, maybe. Maybe it's maybe the whole point of this is that freaking when AI takes over, if there's a bunch of oligarchs who have all the power, then it's going to be a lot easier for AI to take over. Maybe that's my conspiracy theory. Maybe, I don't know. But so Ukraine is the crucible, the fulcrum around which all of this is happening. So defending Ukraine, helping Ukraine in whatever way you can is, and building communities of support for Ukraine in your own countries. Those communities that you build will also become potentially communities and networks of resistance against this slide into fascism that's happening in America and honestly Europe as well, or at least some European countries, Slovakia, Hungary, Serbia, Germany, potentially, even in the UK with the far right swing in all of these countries that's happening. Interesting, but the paradox, so they exist, but the paradox of war is that harem subordinates always defer to the initiative of the harem master. With nations, you have centralized mafia as the alpha harem master. It's an interesting metaphor, and the masses won't revolt. Right. So I can tell you from speaking to many Ukrainian soldiers that there's not going to be an oligarchy in Ukraine after this war. It's not going to be tolerated anymore. There's going to be a lot of Ukrainians coming home with guns to make goddamn sure things are not going to be the same. Yeah. So guys, I have to go because I have a online physical therapy appointment in 3 minutes. So I want to thank you all for coming, and thank you for coming back. Oh, Cheryl, you have trouble with the accents at Tochny. Well, it's good. It's good English practice for you, right? I'm kidding. Yeah. So physical therapy, gotta keep my back strong. And thank you, Scruffy. Appreciate it. And Slava Ukraine, everybody. And I hope you have a great day. До побачення.